G'day folks, welcome back to Pete's Investing. It's January 3rd, 2024. It's the nat gas price update. So I'm going to be covering the various ETFs and natural gas and commodity price in today's video. For those new to the channel, I'll look at the weekly, daily and hourly timeframes to get a trend. And what we use as a trend indicator is the CCI 400 at the bottom here, and with the exception of the hourly. And we also look at the CCI 150 as a potential divergence. So let's look at each of these in detail, and I'll cover the ETFs a bit after this. So you can see there the CCI 400 is broken down below its moving averages, and it's still in a pretty much a bearish, I would say, to a sideways move. The CCI 150 is showing no sign of a divergence. There was a couple of divergence back here versus the price. You can see there the price pulled back after that first divergence, and that second divergence there between those two peaks, the price pulled back well beyond 100% level. And more recently, from since the start of 2023, the price has been fluctuating sideways, and it just bounced off that 23% level, the Fibonacci level. So that's on the weekly. On the daily, we do have pretty much a sideways move, I would suggest. You can see there the CCI 400 is below its moving averages. The CCI 150 is also making a bit of a bounce, and I would consider both those a sideways move. There was a bearish divergence back here between those two peaks on the CCI 150 and the prices, and again that's fallen off and retraced back down towards this support at 22.58. Then lastly on the hour chart, we've got this. We had a few bullish divergences, as you can see here, and I've highlighted in those little rectangles where the targets have been hit for each of those respectively, and the most recent one has been back here where it started that little bit of a retrace to the upside. Now here we've also got a flag developing. It's a bearish flag. Now these typically, I did say they typically produce and project and break to the downside, and we're still expecting that to happen. You can see there it made a bit of a false break above that trend. But it may well likely break to the downside in the coming hours, possibly, or even days. So I'll keep an eye on that. The CCI 150 down here is showing no other movement. It's moving in alignment with this little range here, so just be aware of that. And what I do as well is when the weekly and daily are both in a bearish momentum, I do show buy-sell signals by showing you can see here there was, putting aside the divergence, you need to look at all the different areas. This trading strategy looks at the CCI 150 breaking below the zero line. That's where the sell indicator is shown, and it exits when it hits the minus 100. That's where the close is indicated. So you can see there those little sell close signals going short obviously would have been identified and would have been winners. And more recently we've got these sell signals happening along these peaks, and you don't have to short each one of those contracts. You can actually just choose any of those, and the idea is if this flag works, we're going to be able to close it out somewhere when this breaks below the minus 100. At the moment it's still above the zero line, so it's still a ways off, but if this CCI starts breaking to the downside, we're going to see this work out. So just be mindful of that. So a couple of things to notice is you can have a trading strategy, which is what this identifies, or alternatively, well, not alternatively, as well as you need to be aware of any flags, like you can see here there's a flag forming, so just be mindful of those, or any divergence, and you can see there all those divergences have worked where those little rectangles have been identified. So you could always look out for those in amongst your trading strategy. Next I'm going to look at the ProShares Ultra DJ UBS Natural Gas ETF. I won't go into too much detail on the hourly chart, but other than to say the weekly and daily are both long in this. You can see there on the CCI 400 there's a bit of a bounce off that support at 23.80 on the daily, and on the hourly likewise we've got a flag forming. There is a bullish divergence there along that CCI 150, higher lows versus lower lows on the price, and I've drawn a Fibonacci at that 23.38% level. Now that's at the point before that where that divergence started, so that's why I've drawn it up to those highs there. It may do that. It may actually retrace to the upside, but more than likely it's probably going to break to the downside, and as we said on the commodity price on natural gas, it may break to the downside. If you were to draw this Fibonacci, you've got to be careful where you draw these sometimes. If you were to draw this Fibonacci to that high, you can see there it's already broken that 23.38% level. So, well, sorry, it hasn't done that yet, but that's another area it could break possibly in the coming hours. That'll be the initial Fibonacci range. So just be careful of that. It could actually break to the upside, or in this case, if that flag is successful, it'll break to the downside. So I'll keep an eye on that CCI and the price and see how it goes. But at the moment, it's moving higher. It's broken up through the zero line, and it could go possibly higher. Next, we look at United States Natural Gas Fund. That's the ticker as UNG. Again, the weekly and daily are pretty much bearish to sideways. I would suggest bearish. Although on the hourly, we do have a flag forming as well. The CCI is still rising, but if this flag is to work, it should break to the downside. But again, there's never guarantees. And lastly, we'll look at the ProShares Ultra Short Bloomberg Natural Gas Fund, which is the ticker of KOLD. And again, this is broken below its moving average on the weekly. It's still breaking higher on the daily, although we have a bit of a retrace. And on the hourly, we do have a bullish flag, if you like. It's going the opposite way. And you can see there it's already hit that we had a bearish divergence back here. I would consider that a double top versus the price. It broke down, hit our target, and in this case, if this flag works, we should see the CCI and the price break higher. But at the moment, the CCI is still falling off, so avoid trading at the moment if you're going. And I prefer to trade when the weekly and the daily are in the same direction, in this case going long. So only take long positions at the moment. If I was to draw show those buy-sell signals on this one, you can see there were a few buys back here and closed out there. And then there's another buy indicated here as well. So that did break above, but then it's broken below the zero line again. So it's a bit of a way to go for that to break higher and close out if it breaks above the plus 100. So that's the various ETFs and commodity prices on natural gas. If you got value out of this video, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and see you in a future video.